Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are in the world. Thank you for joining us today for Bust Your Blind Spots. We're going to teach you two tools that will really help you stand in your energetic way, that will help you get present with how you show up in the world, how the key people that you work with show up in the world, and actually how to help us navigate through some of our key leadership blind spots. So for starters, I want to thank the awesome Alexis Chapman and the awesome Tammy Spence. It takes a lot to get all you guys here. We've got 300-ish people here today, so thank you to Alexis and Tammy. Alexis will also be doing our Q&A. Tammy is hanging out behind the scenes to make sure everything is smooth. Next, I want to thank our 55 ambassadors who are helping to tell the world about our super cool book upcoming, which is Power Your Tribe, being released in January. We're going to talk today about two of the tools in Power Your Tribe. And what we're going to also do, which is super neat, is we're going to walk you through two of those tools. So let's go ahead and get started. For those of you who just want a quick little recap, what we've been talking about in our past webinars is about resistance and how to release resistance by actually consenting to what is. Sometimes when things are happening that we don't like, we're like, oh, pushing against those and resisting, if you will. Resistance, as the Borg said, is futile because here's the thing, resistance just causes the current situation to persist. So on our last webinar, reach out if you guys want a replay of that, we worked on consenting, not saying whatever's happening is okay, but just saying, okay, this is happening. I don't need to resist it or deny it. Now let's go forward. Today, we're going to work on the next level of tools, if you will. So I'm Christine Comaford. What we do at Smart Tribes Institute is neuroscience-based leadership and culture work. We work on leadership with these tools, building engaged cultures, and we also use a lot of our neuroscience-based tools for sales and marketing. I was an engineer at Microsoft, and I've built and sold 5 of my own companies, so I get what it's like, you guys. I get what it's like to be in the trenches with the grenades flying. So let's go ahead and talk about the tools you're going to learn today, work in any size of company, anywhere in the world, and really, frankly, any industry. So these are universal tools to use for humans. These are human behavior tools. So today, we're going to learn the 5 rights that every human being has and how strongly you are honoring those rights. This shows you your growth areas, how you're sabotaging getting what you want. And that comes back to the organismic rights as well as energetic weight, why you aren't quite getting the respect that you deserve and how you can stand in your weight more effectively, and how blind spots really, frankly, can kill our performance. So here we go. Great. Oh, it looks like, hey, Sherry, it looks like we've already got someone saying, hey, I want the replay and resisting. So we're going to get to that. So we'll make sure that everybody gets that replay. And thank you, Alexis, for helping us do that. Let's just do a quick recap on your brain. 3 primary areas of your brain, if you will. This is an artistic rendering. It's not physiologically accurate. Reptilian brain, dead or not. Stimulus response machine, basic life support systems, breathing, eating, basic motivations to survive. Mammalian brain, our emotional center. This is where we have our limbic system. But let me say this, the fight, flight, freeze limbic system does overlap other areas of the brain. It does sort of straddle between reptilian and mammalian. Touches a little bit on the neocortex. Mammalian brain, friend or foe. Okay, still a stimulus response machine coded for safety. Neocortex, best part about being human. Prefrontal cortex, the ability to make decisions, to plan strategies, etc. When we get in extreme stress, times of change, uncertainty, whatever, we go into what we call critter state, because you're like a little animal, safe or not, dead or not, but you're not actually in the best part of your brain for being human, the prefrontal cortex, where we can see possibilities and have visions and create. What we want to do is use tools to get out of critter state. So when critter state's prevalent, lack of accountability, low motivation, unhealthy conflict, silo mentality, right? People just kind of seeing what's in their little box, not a lot of initiative, urgency addiction, everything's urgent. If everything's urgent, nothing's important, and burnout. Misguided effort. Let's go over and chase this particular thing, but we're not getting the change that we need. We want to get in the smart state. So use these 2 tools today and all the other tools we've taught you to get in and stay in the best part of your brain. Okay, where we have all 3 parts of our brain firing on all cylinders beautifully, right? Why do this? When we power our tribe using these tools, we get the following benefits, right? We close sales faster, we have more engaged and productive teams, we have revenues and profits that go up. But let's talk about change for a sec. What happens during change? What do we need to do in change scenarios in a world where everything is fast and everything is constantly changing, like the world we live in today? We have to squarely face the challenge of change. We've got to consent to it. Here it is. Here is some change. Okay, great. Now, I would like to be emotionally agile, emotionally resilient to navigate change. And then, third, you want to be able to see change as an opportunity for growth, not a bad thing. You can't change. It's going to happen all the time. Right? So we may as well just say, yippee, it's some change, rock and roll. So Power Your Tribe is a toolkit to help your folks, your team, and yourself navigate change. And we're going to talk about some super cool bonuses you can get when you pre-order. You do, friends, need to pre-order at Power Your Tribe. You can't go to Amazon. You won't get the bonuses. So please do pre-order at Power Your Tribe. All right, humans are emotional. Let's check in. 90% of our decisions, of our behaviors, are driven or dominated by our emotional brain. Take a sec, look at the emotion wheel, and just type into chat how you're doing today. Where are you? How are you feeling? We want to be really present to how we're feeling. We want to be really present to how our people are feeling so that we can help them navigate from sad, mad, scared, if you will, the top half to the bottom half, peaceful, powerful, joyful, that grounded part of us that can deal with whatever comes up, right? So let's take a moment and just check in for how we're doing. While we're talking about that, let me just touch on blind spots and how they're created. Blind spots are created basically when we don't see what's going on and we're wondering why stuff keeps happening. We're stuck and we're stressed and we're not sure why what's going on is going on. So maybe you're thinking, hey, everything is great. I'm feeling totally motivated. I have purpose. You know, if that's the case, if everything is super duper great in your life, you can skip this webinar and move on. Here's the thing. I want us to think about this for a sec. Sometimes we feel a little bit off. Sometimes there's so much stuff changing in our life that we have to first get where we are using the emotion wheel. Okay, where are you today? Okay, here's where I am. And now what's impacting that? So let's look at this for just a sec. The way that we can navigate through our emotions is, as we taught last time, to stop resisting, but next, to understand the rights that might be behind that emotional experience you're having. There are 5 organismic rights. Thanks to Wilhelm Reich, a psychoanalyst from Germany, we learned about these several decades ago, but we don't talk about them. It's time to talk about them, right? Right to exist. Grab a piece of paper or fire up a new Word doc because you're going to need it in just a sec. The right to exist, the right to be here on the planet, the right to take up space, the right to have needs, the right to honor those needs, the right to express those needs and request for them to be fulfilled, the right to take action, the right to follow through, the right to do stuff, the right to have consequences. Sometimes those actions don't work out so great. Is it okay for us to say, oh yeah, wow, that didn't work out so great. I own that. I take responsibility for that action and the result. I will now clean it up. The right to love and be loved. Okay? All right. Now, here's the best part. Take out a piece of paper, fire up a Word doc, leave space. You're going to note, and don't do it quite yet. I'm going to walk through it with you. You're going to note 0 to 5 for each of the rights. 0 is, I don't have that right at all. 5 is, woo, got it. So be super honest. Say to yourself as I go through each right, I have the right to whatever, have needs. I have the right to exist. Say it to yourself and notice how you feel back to the emotion wheel. And if there's a feeling at all of, oh, this isn't entirely true, give yourself an accurate number. Here's the thing. If when you say, I have the right to take action, for instance, and if it feels like you're saying, I have a refrigerator, right, which I'm assuming you all do, if there's no emotion there, like when I say I have a refrigerator, I mean, come on, I have a refrigerator. It's a statement of fact, right? So as you say, I have the right to blank, as we go through each one, see what it feels like, and then be super honest. And then we're going to show you what happens next, okay? let's go. Later, you're going to do this for your key stakeholders at work. Hopefully, you'll do this with your team as well. Okay? Here we go. Right to exist. When a person is in critter state, when they're in that fight, flight, freeze, lockdown, if they play small, if they keep their head down, if they try to be invisible, if they become silent in times of conflict, if they withdraw in times of conflict, chances are good they are experiencing low right to exist. So you can shift that as we tell you on the table here, but just take a sec and ask yourself, I have the right to exist, see how it feels, and please jot it down. Imagine a newborn baby coming into this world. They start with all these rights, but very quickly, based on their experience of life and the conditions they grow up in, they are told between 0 and 3 that they do or don't have these certain rights. We're just trying to get present to your rights, okay? We don't need to judge it at all. All right, good. Right to exist. If you feel like typing your number in to chat, fine. If you don't, that's totally cool. So 0 to 5, please, right to exist. Okay, good. Right to have needs. If when you're in critter state, you put other people's needs before you, you self-sacrifice, you repeatedly take one for the team, you rescue, you don't actually know what you want, that's always interesting. When people don't exactly know what they want, low right to have needs, okay? Take a moment, say, I have the right to have needs, see what shows up for you, rate yourself 0 through 5, where 5 is the highest, 0 is no right to have the need at all, okay? Great. Okay, good. Right to have needs. Thank you. Right to take action. If you procrastinate or avoid commitment, if you hesitate to take action, chances are good you don't have the right to take action. Take a moment and say, I have the right to take action, and see what shows up for you. Okay? Good. Thank you. Right to have consequences. If a person often uses victim language, blames others for their own choices and actions, avoids accountability, chances are good they don't experience the right to have consequences. These are consequences for your own actions. How easy or hard is it for you when you take an action and it doesn't work out? Can you easily say, I own it, I messed up, here's what I'm going to do to fix it? Or is it finger pointing time? So I have the right to have consequences for my actions. Good. 0 to 5, please. Beautiful. Right to love, be loved. If a person is uncomfortable giving or receiving affection, appreciation, or being around others who are emoting, who are emotional, really expressing powerful emotions, or are really hurt, they have a low right to love and be loved. Think about somebody in your life who just can't let love or affection in, who doesn't bond deeply with others, okay? 0 through 5, I have the right to love and be loved. All right. Thank you for being so courageous, you guys, in the privacy of your own office, right? Good. So let's take a sec. The key to skyrocketing your performance, the key to actually getting the respect that you deserve, the key to navigating the world with a lot more ease, grace, and joy is understanding your organismic rights and those of the people that you work with. Okay, if you're counting on somebody who has a low right to take action, that is going to be problematic, right? If you are counting on somebody who has a low right to have consequences for that action, that is going to be problematic, right? If we are constantly self-sacrificing and rescuing others, right? That is going to compromise our right to have needs. I want you guys to get really aware of this because this affects the quality of your life. This affects organismic rights, affect your ability to feel safe, to belong, and to matter. And we want to really be honest about what's going on with us because this shows you your areas in leadership where you need to do some work. I used to have a very low right to exist and a very low right to have needs. And I've been increasing once I became aware of that, but I wasn't even aware of it before. All right, now let's learn, or let's take a couple of questions around organismic rights, et cetera, whatever's coming up for you. Then we're going to go into our next tool, and you're going to see how cool these two tools dovetail, okay? Take it away, Alexis. Any questions?
All right. We have a question from Terry. Terry asks, can you please quickly review the best way to use the picture of emotions again? How can I share this with my team and explain how they can use this for their specific roles?
Good, thank you. Okay, so Terry, the emotion wheel is awesome because check this out. The most recent research from Travis Bradbury is that 36%, only 36% of us know what we're actually feeling at a given time. We can't consent, we can't say this is what is until we actually know what we're feeling. Example, if somebody in your office is upset, they look at the emotion wheel and they go, you know what, I'm really frustrated. And if they can say, you guys, I'm really frustrated, and they can just name it, then it's not this weird thing they have to push down and fight against, that they can just say, I'm really frustrated, I need your help. Then everybody can start to help them move through whatever they need to move through, find out why they're frustrated, right? Find out what would help them shift, what would need to occur to help them shift that frustrated feeling. And now you guys can all collaborate to help them get to where they want to be. In Power Your Tribe, we have an awesome tool called Maneuvers of Consciousness. Maneuvers of Consciousness is a 12-minute process where you can take any emotion, no matter how gnarly it is, whatever you're resisting against, and you can move through. For starters, until you guys get your copies of Power Your Tribe, Terry, you might want to order it for your team. For starters, look at the emotion wheel, name it out loud to others, and then ask their help for shifting it. Then you can stop resisting it, and you can get out of critter and into smart state much faster. Thank you. Great question.
Awesome. We have a question from Sarah. She said, these seem like they could be context dependent. Sometimes I feel I have higher levels of these rights in some contexts, say professional versus others, say personal. Can you speak to the idea of context dependence?
Okay, got it. Thank you. Sarah, yes, just like meta programs that you may have learned from us on another webinar, or safety, belonging, mattering, organismic rights to a degree, I need to stress that, to a degree can be a little bit different contextually. For example, I have a friend who at work, she has great right to have needs. A lot of that comes through her positional authority, right? She's a senior vice president. If she says, I need this, people will scamper and help her get it. But in romantic relationships, she has a lower right to have needs, and she is often rescuing, etc. So what I would say, Sarah, is start to look at your experience and the contexts. And when I was working with my friend recently, the senior vice president, she started to realize that even though she had the experience of having greater needs when she was at work, she still didn't feel totally comfortable and authentic. She felt a little bit like a fraud. This is why we read so much about imposter syndrome, because it's like she feels like, due to her position, she has the borrowed right to have needs at the office, but alone in her personal life, she goes, you know what, I don't really have that right. So I want you to be authentic, and I want you to look at, if you have greater rights in a certain context, look at how you feel about having those greater rights in certain contexts. Look at the stories you tell yourself about whatever identity you have in that context where you have greater rights, pardon me, and then come back down and look at the areas where you have lower rights and work there first. Then it'll authentically ripple up. Thank you. Great question. You guys are into this. This is great. Carry on. Anything else, Alexis, for now?
For now, no. Let's keep going,
Let's keep going.
and
Okay.
when things come in, we will catch them at the next Q&A portion.
Beautiful. Thank you. So we need to help our people navigate through emotions. We need to help them deliver the results that they really want to deliver, because people are awesome. And as they understand their organismic rights, then they have a greater ability to start to look at and speak out for their needs and stand in their ability to exist, et cetera. And we start to see greater performance at work when people understand their rights. It's very cool. Let's take a sec and let's talk about what we're doing as our special incentives for our awesome new book, Power Your Tribe. And again, a shout out to our ambassadors. Thank you, 55 ambassadors. And Alexis in the follow-up email, and Tammy will let you guys know what's involved. We have an ambassador call next week where we're all going to work on sharing this message. We want 1 million people to become emotionally agile, to just make the world an awesome place and help people choose their emotional state. So when you purchase 1 or more copies at poweryourtribe.com, you get 4 webinars to teach you the tools, 15 of our proven processes for sales, marketing, leadership, culture, 42 videos, 7 audios, and a chance to win one-on-one coaching with me. And that's $2,000 worth of cool incentives. That's why we're asking you to go to poweryourtribe.com and buy your copies now. If you purchase 25 copies by midnight tonight Pacific time, you'll get Smart Tribe's playbook, which is, oh my gosh, over 100 of our proven templates to actually create your Smart Tribe, and you can create your Smart Tribe on your own. It's worth $3,000. I know this sounds crazy. We're doing it because we're on a mission. We're on a mission to create smart tribes and to help people become emotionally agile. So here's just a quick little screenshot of all the cool stuff you're getting, all the infographics, all sorts of cool stuff. So let's go ahead and get into our next tool in just a sec. If you want to bring Power Your Tribe to your organization, we're giving away just through the end of December. You can use these services whenever you want, but you have to sign on, if you will, by the end of December. And we're getting all these cool things. So you can get free trainings, etc., for buying books. And we'll send you, of course, the PowerPoint. All right, let's talk about energetic weight, okay? Bert Hellinger taught us about proper versus improper energetic weight. Now, energetic weight is how you stand in your power, okay? So for instance, with Sarah's question, she might have stronger energetic weight at work. Thus, it's easier for her to take on greater organismic rights. So think about the tribal leaders in your company. Think about how much weight they have. The tribal leaders aren't necessarily positional leaders. I go into a lot of companies where the receptionist has a lot of energetic weight. She has a lot of influence on how people feel about the organization. So yes, it's easy to say more energetic weight is with different levels within the company, but energetic weight is how you show up and how you tell people to treat you. We are constantly broadcasting our energetic weight. Let's find out what yours is. Again, grab a piece of paper or a sticky note. This one's shorter. It's 10 questions, and you're going to answer each one, and it's yes or no, and it doesn't take quite as much thought as organismic right does. Question 1, yes or no. I spend 70% or more of my time on high-value activities. High-value activities, stuff that you are uniquely qualified to do, stuff that really is aligned with what your role is. High-value activities, things that may be challenging or hard, but they're really fulfilling, and they're exactly what you know you're supposed to be doing. Yes or no, and I spend 70% or more in an average month on high-value activities. Number 2, I hold others accountable to their commitments, even if they go into victim or persecutor behavior and try to make me the bad guy. Do you hold people accountable to their commitments? Yes or no? Okay, next. My team knows what's expected of them, and they come forth when they drop the ball. Rarely do I have to mention it. Does your team get that when they drop the ball, they should just cop to it? You shouldn't have to babysit them about it and bring it to their attention. Yes or no? Number 4, my peers know what to expect in transactions. In transactions with your peers, what's okay, what's not okay, where the line is that they shouldn't cross. Do your peers understand your healthy boundaries? Yes or no? Okay, good. Whoop. Supervisor, boss, leader. Would your supervisor, boss, leader not dream of delegating work to you that could be given to someone more junior? Yes or no? Okay, good. We're scooping along. Team wouldn't dream of bouncing delegated work back to me, their leader. Okay? My team wouldn't dream of bouncing work that I already delegated back to them, back to you, their leader. Yes or no? Number 7, I am known as fair, direct, collaborative, a straight shooter. This is why people trust me. I don't play games. I give credit where credit is due, and I continuously elevate and cultivate others. This is what we are supposed to do as leaders. Are you doing it? Yes or no for question number 7. Okay, just a few more. 8, I see my role as a privilege and not an entitlement. I am here to serve my company's mission, fulfill its vision, honor its values, make a positive contribution to clients, partners, team. Yes or no, please? Number 9, I complete the work I'm able to complete that's appropriate for my role and amount of time I dedicate to work. I don't self-sacrifice and work excessive hours. That would reduce my work quality and also mean I'm either not delegating enough or taking on more work than is healthy or appropriate. Yes or no? And number 10, I'm okay with conflict and stress. If I disagree with something, I say so in a respectful way with the reasons why. If others try to shoot down my ideas, I get curious and find out what I may have missed. When under stress, I stay calm and move through it. We're all works in process. That's okay. We'll get through this together. Yes or no? All right. Total up your yeses. Total up your yeses. All right. Woo. 0 to 3 yes answers. It's time to get a coach. Okay. Work on building your energetic weight. 4 to 6 yesers. You're on your way. Okay. Hone your skills. Ground your energy. Right. And now you get to help others understand this too. 7+ yes answers. Optimization is your adventure now. Let's see how mentally clear, how inwardly still, how authentic and transparent you can be. So as we start to understand our energetic weight, everything starts to change. Your energetic weight is actually connected to your organismic rights. Think about it. As we increase our organismic rights, we also increase our energetic weight. Isn't that cool? So to do this, we've got to relinquish our ego's perpetual quest to control things or seek approval. Look at the connection between your organismic rights and your energetic weight, right? Work with your team. Go to poweryourtribe.com. Once you grab your copies, you'll get some tools on poweryourtribe.com to help work with your team here as well. So navigating change is really mostly about navigating our reactions or our response to change, okay? So let's think about this for just a sec. Let's take a couple of questions, and then we're going to wrap up in just a couple minutes.
Okay, Christine, we have a question from Gabby, and this goes back to the rights portion on that exercise. And the question is, if someone has rage but does not act on it, what right would they be missing?
Ah, Gabby. Okay, so they have internal rage, right? They don't physically yell at people, I'm assuming, but they have internal rage. Here's the thing. Was that right, Alexis? Was that your understanding?
That was my understanding, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, it's internal. Right. Gabby just confirmed it's internal.
Okay, yay, thanks, Gabby. Okay, so it's internal rage. Rage about what? Think about what anger is really about. Anger is often about, and think about your experience of this, Gabby, anger is often about not getting what met. Is it that people aren't seeing them? Right to exist. Is it that people aren't honoring their needs? Right to have needs. Is it rage that people aren't showing up? Right to take action. Others' right to take action. Are they responding to their experience of others or their experience themselves? Here's the thing. This is so interesting. Emotions are just like wind that passes by. Emotions are actually how humans experience the world. You've had this experience before where somebody is upset or whatever and it doesn't affect you. You just let it go whoop and it pops right on by. We get in trouble when we grab on and identify with somebody else's emotion. Why do we do that? Because we take it personally, because it often shows us work that we need to do. It taps on one of our stories, okay? So, for instance, if somebody gets really upset when somebody else drops the ball, right, doesn't honor a commitment, the person who's upset might have really high right to take actions and right to have consequences. They might have a story that people don't come through for me, which is why they get upset when the other person doesn't come through. So it's a combo pack of a few things happening here. It's belief and identity structures combined with organismic rights, combined with, do they have the right to express their rage? And rage doesn't have to be yelling at people. It could just be saying, wow, I'm really disappointed that you dropped the ball here. I was really counting on you. What's up? You know? But if they're smushing that down, they probably don't have the right to exist or the right to have needs. Make sense?
Thanks,
Gabby.
Christine. We're going to do one more just for the sake of time.
Yeah.
So Serena asked, she said the energetic weight quiz was just mind-blowing. She's like, I would love to introduce this to my team. What's the best setting for that?
So Serena, you know, if you go to Forbes and you Google Forbes, or if you just go Forbes, Comaford, energetic weight, you'll pull up a Forbes article. That might be an easier way to introduce it to your team, you know? And you could share that Forbes blog that I wrote, and it could be a lunch and learn topic. You could say, wow, you know, I read this and I learned more about it on a webinar and I was really intrigued by this. And here's what I learned about my energetic weight. As a leader, always hold up the mirror. So I just did this with you guys, and my energetic weight is 8. There are 2 areas that I need to work on. And it was really good to have this come up in front of my face. So that's what I would do. I would say, hey, you know, guys, this is what I learned my energetic weight is. Here's how it works. Let's all find out what our energetic weight is. People can share it or not, but it raises our awareness of areas that we need to work, because we're all works in process. We're all doing the best we can with the tools we have. Here's a new tool for you. All right, cool. I think it's time for us to scoot. Alexis,
it is.
anything else? Oh gosh, everything goes so fast.
It does. It is time to wrap it up. And if anybody has questions, please feel free to email. The email is in on this slide right here, ops@smarttribesinstitute.com. You will receive a replay link within 24 hours. We will include information about our Power Your Tribe Ambassador program. The call for that is next week on Tuesday. We will also include the replay link from the first Power Your Tribe webinar, where you will learn about resistance and consent. Back to you, Chris.
Awesome. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Alexis. So again, please go to poweryourtribe.com so you can get 4 webinars, 15 super cool templates our clients love to use to build their smart tribe, and then 42 videos, 7 audios, chance to win one-on-one coaching with me. And then if you purchase 25 copies for all your buddies, you also get Smart Tribes Playbook. Here's the thing, you know, leadership is a privilege. And the coolest thing we can do is to cultivate and elevate others. That's our legacy. It's not how many hospitals our name is on. You know, it's not all that stuff. It's in the hearts of the people that you work with. Share these tools with the people you work with. Share these tools with your folks at home. Share these tools with your friends, okay? We're gonna help make 1 million people emotionally agile that will give us choice as to how to respond to all the stuff that keeps happening in the world and help lead others to better experiences as well. So thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for your contributions. Right, guys. Have an awesome, awesome rest of your week.